All right. What's up, everybody? Today's stream is a little bit different. We got two special guests. We've got Tymo, who you all know and love.
Heyo.
Welcome, Tymo.
Hey, Clon. How are you?
Going well. How about you?
Good. Thanks.
And then returning from the swamp, the frog cat himself, Linkoid, is back. What's up, Link?
Yeah, doing good. Tymo, the one you know and love, and Link, the one you know.
And we'll soon love again.
Yeah. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Oh,
I mean, we're doing some cool stuff, so yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. So today's stream, we're mostly chatting, and we do have some drawing to do. And sort of this is the theme of Ardi's workshop, is just workshopping ideas, productivity, and just having a good time. So it'll always change of what Ardi's workshop is, but really excited for today's because we just have a lot we want to talk about and just update, and just get to know what's going on.
I think like the thing I'm most excited about, right, is actually Ardi's gadgets, right? Like if you think about it in terms of that, it's like what gadgets are we going to build, and what are the community going to be able to do with those gadgets? We got some really cool ideas, and definitely like plugging them into, like the big partnership stuff we've got with like Futureverse and like Animoca and that. Like I think we're we got some cool stuff.
And I feel like, as we'll get into it, kind of where we're at now is just wanting to build a lot of like smaller experiences and just kind of throw them at the wall and see which one sticks. Because recently Link and I kind of rekindled our relationship and like got really excited about what we could do together. I think that just like we felt this like spark and passion come back of just kind of what we felt when we started this whole thing. And it's just cool to like do that now, and kind of like we've had our deep breath of like the mayhem that has happened since starting all of this, and I think we've actually had time to like think about what we want out of all of this and just continue to use like the Cool Cats IP to be that thing to build. And so I don't know where we want to start. I have my drawing from last stream that I wanted to color today. So as we're kind of chatting, that'll sort of be like the visual in the background. And I know at some point Link has something to show, a little thing that he's been building, just kind of to set the stage of little stuff that we're building. And again, with Ardi's workshop, we're just going to be really transparent with what we're building and like where we're at, and obviously let us know what you think about these things, because that's sort of the point. We're just going to keep building things until we feel like there's actually like some excitement behind it, and then it'll sort of all be put into like the website as like a big experience. But I don't know if that's what we want to show now. I know we're bouncing all over the place.
We can do.
Okay.
I think it'd be great.
Yeah. This is definitely like not necessarily something that's just going to exist, right? Like this could get destroyed tomorrow. Like, but that's the whole point, right? Is there's like things coming out of the workshop where we're building stuff, but we definitely want to get fun into the hands of the community. Like we're desperate for fun, and I think like this was built quick as a prototype, but it's like the idea is that this could be really fun, right? So how do we share it? I'm guessing what is the best way to? I can share it, and then I think after that we could maybe us three could quotes play, and then
Yeah.
And
I
then
mean,
we
I
can
was
share
even
it to
thinking
see
if we
any
want,
people.
curious, I was going to say we could post a link for people to join in too.
Yeah, so I'm thinking
Let's show it off first.
Let's play so that
Okay.
we can teach people what to do.
Is it the same link?
Yeah, I'll send it over. Because the other thing I'm worried about, right, is I just sent that. People are getting spammed with links by me at the moment. I've just sent it all over the place.
Link looking more and more apt by the day.
There we go. That's better. So hopefully we can.
So I got to lock in here because some of these are.
I know some of these are okay. This is easy.
Oh, I haven't even joined. I was too busy sending the
yeah.
link out.
Well, so Link, you can document what's going on. All right, here we go.
Oh yeah, I can explain it. Yeah. Whilst you two play, awesome. So this is kind of like one of the little sort of prototype things that we're going to try and get up and running. And this is effectively like a social quiz, but it's got all answers, questions and answers from the lore of Cooltopia, from the Cool Cats animated series. I'm going to try and add loads over time. So there's just a ton of questions in here. People can jump in. And
the pressure is on. Start reading chat. I'm like, the pressure's on.
What was brilliant is the first time I sent this over, I was like explaining to Klon and Timo. I was like, yeah, so it's this, and I was like, oh, they've gone quiet. they're locked in, like on the questions.
We had a rolling conversation when we were testing this yesterday of like some of these questions are hard, like that, like what fruit is unique to the Wandering Territory. This document, keep in mind, I put into PDF form is like. Let's go.
I should know these, but
is like pages and pages and pages because Link wrote this incredible lore, and I was able to like go through it a little bit. But some of them, it's like if you miss, it is what it is. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I think the fun part, as you were describing, Link, is that this is just something that always exists. And wait, easy. If you miss this one, you're fired.
So that's what I was gonna say. Is some of them very difficult. There's a few that it's like you literally aren't allowed to be on the team anymore if you miss the question.
I'll give you a clue. The easiest question in this is which character is blue, and one of the answers is Blue Cat. So I mean, if you get that wrong, yeah. But what we'll do is once we've played a couple of games, then we'll send the link out, and then hopefully, like Jisoo, JL, you'll be able to jump in and try and join us. I don't know how well this is going to hold up because it's just come out of Ardi's workshop, right? So it could completely crash on us, but fingers crossed it'll run okay, and we could play sort of like 1 or 2 rounds of the quiz.
Whatever time.
What can I say? What can I say? I know my community. I know my lore.
Tag me in.
But I think this gets to the point that Link you were making, where one of the major elements that we want to try and take on as a team is things that are fun. If we aren't having fun making it and testing it and building it, then you guys aren't going to have fun using it. And so often, I think in the space we see in Web3, but in building in general, is that the idea of a product or experience can get lost. Oh, see, now I'm narrating on this one. Get lost in.
I didn't even realize it started.
No, it's okay. This works perfectly. The overall experience can get lost in trying to hit a certain milestone or check a certain box. And as a result, we don't have something enjoyable at the end of the day. So I think what you'll probably see, and Klon, Link, you guys can confirm, back me up, or just say, nah, don't listen to that guy. But I think you'll see a lot of build fast, break stuff, try something new.
Yeah.
And we want to hear from you. We want to hear directly, whether it's on the Discord or on any of our socials or on the streams. Like, hey, I got to test this thing that you've put out into the world through the workshop. Here's what I liked. Here's what I would hope to see. Because again, at the end of the day, we're all fans of the brand. We're all holders. We're all community members as well. So we figure if we enjoy it, you likely will too. And if at the end of the day you're not loving something, let us know. If at the end of the day you have a new place that you feel like, hey, this is my go-to app when I have a few minutes, I'm going to go do a Cool Cats quiz. That's the best news we could get. So please continue to give us feedback. Please continue to chime in and let us know what you're hoping to see. Again, we are in the build fast, break stuff, try something new phase. And personally, I'm really excited. It's some of the most fun I've had at my time at the company. And it just stems out of these little experiences like, building a quiz game is not the craziest thing in the world, but it's fun. And you get to compete.
Well, and like
there's
the other thing is it's definitely a stepping stone. It's like
Yes.
there's so much, like they don't have to just be questions, they could be pictures too.
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna chalk this one up as an L because I can't talk and read at the same
That's fair.
time.
Yeah.
I know it's so hard.
Yeah, I was trying to chime in, but because like I said, a lot of these things are gonna be like built in a week, basically, or maybe even a day. Like they're just like really tiny experiences, and then we can come on to Ardi's workshop like we're doing right now and kind of show them off. And like it's really, you got to think about like the concept of it, of like, okay, here's a quiz thing that anyone can join. Like the lobbies start every 3 minutes, and so it's just always running. So
Do we
it's
want
fun
to send
jump
out
in
a
with people.
link to people in the chat? Like we can't. Again,
Yeah,
this is new, so there's a
Let's do
chance
it.
things break. But if you guys want to jump in, I'll hold off on signing up just so we don't start it on accident. But
Yeah, same.
I think there's a bug at the moment where when 2 people go in, it gives you a very small amount of time to jump into the next
Okay.
quiz.
Putting it in the
JL wants to play.
I'm putting it in the Twitch chat right now. Should be there. So we'll type a name, and as soon as I see one player waiting, I'll join the game so we can start getting in. Again, this is here we go. So I'll join in too. Looks like
we got 3. All right,
we got 3.
did it.
Okay, so and we will do more rounds
okay,
of this.
there's
That's the whole point. But like,
There's definitely a bug where like 2 people go in and it's like, I'm starting the quiz. So thanks a lot, Ardi.
God, I'm starting off so bad.
Yeah, I'll sit out the next one. It's just fun.
Well, so Link, do you want to talk a little bit about like the development process of this and like kind of like, I mean, this is the beauty of Ardi's workshop is that it's comic relief blue.
I also posted up the link on Twitter. So the cool thing is, if you aren't in, you can still spectate the quiz because this is the boring technical stuff, right? It's using WebSockets, so it's like a constant live service kind of thing. Someone needs to be sat running it, but as soon as you go in, it will just start running the quiz constantly. So people will be able to join and just start playing straight away. I'll try and get that bug fixed where it just jumps straight in. But basically, you got to be quick, right? You got to be really quick when it first goes because there's clearly a bug there. But the thing I like about it is it also gives us a lot of like reusable stuff. So like this is not perfect, but you can kind of feel like that there's this nice UI there, which we can start reusing through other little experiences. And the other little experiences basically culminate into something bigger. But we don't want to build the big thing, right? And it's like, keep waiting, like something's coming, and then we deliver it and people are like, oh, it's okay. Like we may as well build the small pieces, like the small building blocks that we can just let people play with and have fun and get feedback on as well.
Right, because like this could
But
be
yeah, some
integrated.
of these are a bit rough.
This could be integrated into like another thing, just like tacked on, or like I could see a lot of the little stuff that we're building working together.
Yeah, and potentially we could also create the ability for people to create their own quizzes, right? So like if they have fan fiction or whatever, they can label it the Cool Cats fan fiction quiz, and then we could potentially have that as another separate quiz that we create.
Sorry, I just there's what I love about this quiz is there's so much. It's like really getting into some lore, like very specific lore, and like you are just like the master of lore, and I feel like you've added some more, like, you know, dug deep for it, but there's some of it that I guess still learning. So these quizzes are really fun because you get that one question that's like, oh man, where did this? Hey, we got two chatters.
Got the community match, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
here we
great.
go. Oh, we could. Wow, this is like quiz cast.
Yeah,
It's great.
It's like esports.
Yeah. Coming down
like
to
the
the end
most
of question
dull
1,
esport
we see
ever.
JL and Van Plug neck and neck as they head into question 2. But no, I mean, I think.
Oh, I kind of wanted you to keep going. That was, I mean, I'm joking, but like that was awesome.
Ooh, okay.
Way better than it needed to be.
But so, I mean, I think this kind of gets to the goal of Ardi's workshop. As we had described, or I guess as Klon had described it last week, this is a space for us to be creative, for us to chat with y'all, to be able to share new ideas, things like that, and be able to kind of say, hey, what's working, what's not? How can we continue to build out? I love how Soren put it, these bite-sized pieces of fun. Like, because if we can put out a series of these that you guys enjoy, then all of a sudden we have a full-fledged experience. And then on that, we can continue to add, grow, iterate. And again, we have this along with other things that I can't necessarily talk about quite yet, but this is the big priority, is we want to make sure that while those big things are happening and while we are continuing to work in the background, that it's not radio silence, that it's us being able to put out experiences that are enjoyable, that help you connect or learn about the cool cats or share it with friends, that are easy, approachable, and just a place where you can go where, let's say you have a spare 5 minutes, run through one of these quizzes, right? Like we're talking about it and it's like, why couldn't that be the case? So yeah, personally, I'm stoked. I can't wait. And this is, again, the first of many. There will be bugs, there will be breaks, there will be all of these things. So I guess expect that, but also expect us to continue pushing through them, trying, iterating new things, and asking for your feedback on it.
Yeah, what's cool about having a few smaller kind of things that are delivered and exist, right, is you can give us feedback, but we can also tell you, like, oh, you are all playing the quiz, like you prefer that over everything else we've delivered, right? Just as an example, it's like, well, we're going to tell you, or the data is going to tell you, kind of like, you're going to get more of what you seem to enjoy. So yeah, I kind of want to try. I want to try and get into one of these.
I've got my name ready.
Do one.
Okay, Link, we're going to click in 3, 2, 1. Click it. Maybe.
Y'all did good, by the way.
You guys did great.
that was really fun to watch.
I don't think I've seen.
Oh, this is weird. This one's.
I was going to say, a bunch of us sent a request at the exact same time, so we'll see if this one's gonna.
I was gonna try, but I was like,
that's fair. That's fair.
What I'm curious.
Oh no, I'm gonna get stream sniped.
Yeah, true.
Oh yeah. You definitely will.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've got your stream on multiple windows so I can help mod too, but like.
I just made the quiz window like a tinier window, and I put it over yours, like on this screen, on the Streamlabs.
That's smart.
Because it's like you can't help yourself.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
you see the
I
green,
like
you're
have
like,
to block it out, because it's not fun otherwise.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Oh gosh. Okay.
That really is my reaction. Sometimes I'm like, oh no.
Oh. Let's go. All right. I'm stoked. I'm keeping up with Link. This is my barometer of success. Like, how well are things going? If I'm within 50 points of Link at the end of the game, I'm going to be jazzed.
I'll just send you the lore scroll.
Yeah, thank you. Perfect. Thank you.
And I'll hand it over.
Some of them, it's funny because some of them feel like they're really simple. And it's like, oh, I got this. It's in the bag. And they are. And then other ones are
so
like,
specific.
oh, I totally got it. And then it's like, I'm dumb and I either misread it or just don't know what's happening because I fully missed it. Like,
yeah, my geography is bad. I'm like, oh, I'm like, where's that town again? Like on the Cooltopia map.
I reckon those are the hardest questions, are the ones that it's almost like there isn't written answer for it. You need like the visual of the map in your head. So it's like which of these are located, and I think those are the hard ones.
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be unbearable in Slack later today if I get a 500. Just saying. I think my high score is 400. So anything beyond this is
like the talking it up is interesting. You're one question.
He's one away from being a menace all day.
Yeah. All right, we're about to get the hardest question.
Oh gosh. Okay.
It's gonna be the blue one.
Oh, okay. This is not easy. What do they feel? Let's go.
Oh, he did it. Well, he didn't beat Link though.
Again, within 50 points. That's what I'm saying.
All
That's
right.
fine. I'm so jazzed, and I can't wait to just remind you about this. Let me just get a little screenshot going here.
Some of the questions are not
Screenshot.
easy.
Oh, true. That's something we need. A little social sharing at the end of this.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
share their quiz.
It should be like,
That'd be cool.
what would be fun is instead of like typing, because like that's where it gets toxic. It's like it's just like emote only. You just have like a bunch of emotes that you could choose from.
Oh, at the end, if you're the winner, you get to click. An
Yeah,
emote.
you get to
No
click.
one else
You just
does.
get to
Babe, babe,
spam
babe,
it.
babe,
It just like pops up over the screen. Ha ha.
Oh, there's something weird with the game results as well because it just resets everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
funny.
when someone joins the next quiz, I think.
Oh.
So I think Giles joined the next quiz and then it resets all the players' data.
So I'm curious from folks who have been able to play it so far. Again, like as you can see, Link, like you described, this was built in what? How many days? 2? Yeah,
Like 2.
And again, thank goodness we've got Link back, because if I was responsible for this simply wouldn't exist. So,
Well, it's just fun. I'm just like, oh wait,
It's
this is
blast.
possible. Wait, we can do something like this. Cool.
right. And so
Because
I'm
like how
curious
I
to-
see this
okay.
evolving is like it can have. I mentioned pictures before, and it's like guess which one is different, sort of thing. And it's like 3 blue cats, and there's like one little thing that's off. So we can start doing like visual puzzles too. But the overall concept of it is just it's always running. I think that's like the main thing.
Yeah. Like when we end the stream, right? Like people will still be able to just go to this URL and play together, which I think is cool.
I would be curious.
Yeah, like it's really I can tell it's fun because it's really distracting.
Yeah.
me. Like I keep talking and I'm like, who's winning out of JL and Van?
I
Like,
know.
who's winning? I'm like, oh, it's close.
It's neck
It's
and
close.
neck. Yeah, at first it was a 10-second timer, and that was way too fast.
Trying to just speed read through everything and like.
It's strange. I think some of the randomization of the questions is not quite right as well because there's a ton of animated series questions in here. I don't think I've seen one yet. So like,
yeah, like I saw the one that's
Yeah.
like at the end of episode 1.
Yeah.
Where are all the characters sitting?
yeah, there's loads of them in there. So I don't know why we've seen one. But
Well, I'm in the process
Yeah.
of. We've got a few. I think, Link, you said we're through like episode 4, right, for questions. Okay, so yeah, so I'm working through,
Yeah.
which is good because I started on
Oh,
5,
cool.
and I was going to be sad if I doubled up. But yeah, we're kind of working through more episode questions. But I'd be curious to hear from folks like Van and JL who've gotten to hop in, or anybody in the chat too. Just what sort of things would you like to see? Like Klon, you mentioned the photo comparator, or like some extra, like maybe a fill in the blank one or something like that. Like what other things would you find interesting outside of just additional questions in this? Maybe it's things like the social share, maybe it's things like the emotes, but that type of feedback is exactly what we're hoping to see, because again, we'll play it, we'll come up with ideas, but we would love for your feedback as well to be incorporated, especially when it makes sense, because that's who it's all about, the community, right? Like, so
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
JL, nicely done. 400. Man, a solid showing with 250. I got to say, this is the beauty of this is that game to game, you guys saw me put up a 200, and then just as a reminder, followed up by a perfect score. It can happen to anybody. So don't give up. Keep playing.
Yeah, I mean, I think I even got a 450.
Link, I was going to say, like, is this going to be
That's such an annoying
is this going to be
answer.
up for like I guess this could pop down like functionality wise for a bit too, right? Like when we're working on it, things like that. So if folks do check the link, I just don't want them to show up and be like, "What the heck? This is broken. It's not here."
Yeah, it should just keep running, but what you might find is I might just deploy some stuff that breaks. Like it's like, oh, this is broken. So you might find, like at the moment, the weird kind of connecting thing where if two people connect, it seems to jump you straight into the next quiz. You might see stuff like that. You might see that like all of a sudden you can't click the buttons to even answer quiz questions. You know, there's loads of stuff that could happen with it. It's not a massive priority either. It's not like all of the resources like are gonna be like pushed into this quiz now. So like bear in mind that these tiny little things will be very, very slow.
Yeah, we already got 2 great suggestions.
I would say these are
Make old lore more discoverable. And like I could see us just having like an icon that like takes you either to the lore page or like the episodes.
Yep.
So like easy to find where all this is coming from.
And then I love the idea of like theme quizzes too, because again, we can host like I think JL, you said above, Cool Cats Pub Quiz, right? Like you could host a theme quiz night that's not reliant on a Discord bot. That's something we build, and that you get to come like to a unified experience that's not just like, well, you got to be in this one spot at this one time. Or you could do it with your friends. Like, hey, we're running this theme this week. If you want to hop on, so you can put up the highest score out of 3 games or whatever. Like, there's a lot of fun there. The global leaderboard, anything that can incentivize that like little competition. Personally, big fan. So
yeah, 100%. And like maybe we do a quiz that's 30 questions. That's like the big finale quiz.
There you go.
Actually, Timer mentioned about the when we were testing this, mentioned about bonus points for quick answers.
Oh yeah.
One thing I love about that is like there could be technically a perfect score, right? But the perfect score is you answered every single question 1 second in.
Oh wow.
So like it's probably going to be like very unlikely. But if there's that like top kind of score,
I can't read that fast.
Right. Who's going to sit and just click? Who's going to pick B every time and just hope that it's right? You know,
you have to speed run it and just hope.
Yeah.
Oh, don't tell them that B's the answer.
I mean, who's going to pick something other than that a bunch of times? Not that answer for sure.
Oh god,
I'd be so annoyed if this one. Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna okay, I'll stop sharing this now. But feel free to play it if you want to jump on it, give us feedback, send messages on Twitter.
Yeah, I'd love to figure out the it starting with 2 people. That way we could like actually try to load a bunch of people in.
Right.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see like 6, 7,
Yeah,
like 8 people in.
And then like we were just mentioning, you would need to have the like whoever answers first gets that little bit of bonus, because as you guys saw with you two getting 2 500s, it's like we don't want that. We don't want a tie. Someone's got to win.
But I like that. Maybe you get an extra question every time you answer under 3 seconds. That would be your edge over other players. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, and what if there was a solo mode? Kind of going off of that, like
how many consecutive you get
3 seconds every time you answer. So it's like you could go infinitely if you're, and
I also love the idea of like March Madness bracket. Like imagine we could set up literally like a bracket, right? And we could be like, oh, Friday quiz. Now we've got these 2 people from the community and they're going to be battling each other. Like that would be kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
See how far people get.
Test out something on screen.
3 hours in a single quiz. Yeah.
I'm gonna test out something. I'm gonna. No comments here.
Hey, there we go.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it doesn't show the bottom of it, which is a little interesting, but
I think you can flip it.
Oh, can you? Good. So I would rather them start at the bottom and go up.
Top. The top. Dumb. Yeah.
It's
Can you fix that?
I'm pretty sure you can do that. Can you?
I have no idea.
Maybe we'll see.
I saw that somewhere.
Klon, are you have the image from yesterday? You mentioned you were potentially going to color. Are you able to send that over so I can color it too? Are we able to
Oh,
share that potentially?
yeah.
I think that would be
Actually,
kind
we
of a
can
fun draw
post
along with
this in
everybody.
Discord. Anyone can color
Yeah.
this. Let me just export it.
I was going to say, for those who missed our Tuesday stream, that is our Luck of the Draw stream. And basically the idea behind that stream is Klon has the word of the day from Webster's, goes on, learns the new word and what the definition is. And then you have a list of 20 kind of character pairings. So sometimes it's a single character all the way up to a nat 20, which we rolled on Tuesday, which is all 4 characters. Then, based off of Klon's ideas and audience suggestions, Klon's able to draw an image that incorporates the word or the theme of the word into a story with those characters. So super fun. I'm trying to remember, what was our word on Tuesday, Klon? Do you remember off the top of your head?
Exculpate. And exculpate
Oh, yeah.
means to prove someone is not guilty.
So we've got quite the courtroom scene.
I'm exporting
and,
two. I'm exporting one where it's on a white background and then one that's just transparent.
Sweet. I would say I see some artists I really, really like their work on in chat. So I would love to see some draw alongs. And again, we'll be posting this in the Discord here shortly. But if you want to draw along with us, we've been sharing those illustrations with hashtag CC Luck of the Draw, all one hashtag. And that just allows us to kind of at the end of the week go through, see what people have created. If you had another idea and wanted to draw some of our characters with the word or the theme and wanted to share it through there too, I've been going through on Fridays and kind of trying to find some of the pieces. I know JL submitted last week. Link, you had a great one last week. And we're able to retweet those at the end of the week and show a little love to everybody who not only supported the streams, but then also took a little time and shared some creativity with us as well.
Is there a good spot for me to put this on Discord?
Honestly, general maybe the spot. Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to upload file.
I don't think we can reverse the chat on the studio.
Yeah,
isn't that weird?
I think you can do it when you embed
It's
it.
so
Now that I
weird.
know it's up top, it's not bad because I saw just as it came through and it like popped in. That was great. But it was just when it first pulled up, I was like, oh my God, where is everything?
Yeah.
It's just weird because like no chat
You're
does that. Like if you go on any of the streaming platforms, all the chats come in at the bottom, or like anything like Discord, like WhatsApp, like text messages, like nothing starts at the top. So it's weird to have that as the default.
It's funny though, because I could justify both, right? Like in one sense, it's like, well, you read at least like primarily folks read from top to bottom. And so it's like, well, sure, if it's scrolling and your last bottom message is the most recent, that makes sense because then you've caught up. Alternatively, if messages are coming in at the top and that's where you're reading, unless you have a crazy fast chat, then this almost makes more sense because it's just like, well, I look to the top to see what the new one is. Oh, perfect. Jess, yeah, exactly. I would love to see what you create over this weekend. This is going to be super, super fun. And yeah, feel free if anybody wants to
Post it.
Perfect. Thank you. Wants to, yeah, color along, fill in anything like that, or even draw their own image based off of kind of the description. Feel free to go back, watch Tuesday's stream, or just submit something with hashtag CC Luck of the Draw across socials, and we'll be reposting them as they come in.
Yeah, I'm like really curious to see if anyone recolors it and if anyone like, because you have the transparent one, like moves things around and does things differently, adds things. Because I got lazy. I didn't add the flags in the background because I was like, I just don't feel like doing that. Now I might, and someone else might, but
I feel like that's different from being lazy though.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like, I'm not doing
it. I'm doing
it. Like, yeah,
I can
like
do a
that's slightly
flag, but I don't
different.
want to then have to color what's on the flag as like fabric hanging, because then you have to like kind of like imagine how it's like draping, and so it's like it's like a puzzle, really. Like it's like it really hurts my brain sometimes.
I saw this really cool challenge on TikTok that people are doing. I think I have mentioned it, where they get the color wheel and they kind of like mush it all around.
Oh yeah.
And then they change everything into grayscale mode. And then they color pick from that and then color it in. So when they take it off, they don't know what everything's going to be colored in as. They just pick like the lights and darks to sort of color stuff in. I'm a little bit skeptical because I've seen a couple and it's like, wow, you accidentally picked some really nice sort of pastel
Yeah,
colors.
wow, isn't
like,
that beautiful, huh?
they don't fit, but like they kind of look okay.
I'm bringing out my inner iPad kid. I'm going to be coloring along. So if you see me looking down and getting distracted, you know why.
Yes, I don't know if we want to, but am I good to go over here? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So we have that. What was the... I swear there was a layout
this
that...
one.
Okay, that was the layout. Okay. Makes us itty bitty, but that's fine, right?
That's okay. We can be itty bitty.
Yeah.
I'll click a few layouts.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just
Feel
see
free.
which one you like, because this is just
All about experimentation.
the workshop. Okay, I mean that's exactly the same basically, but like different.
Slightly less itty
position.
bitty.
Okay. That's like I have to sit
Yeah,
like within
sit perfectly.
weird. I mean that's not too bad, but like I think probably the one you had is actually the best one anyway. So.
All right, I'm just doing some cleanup.
Yeah, if anyone's got anything that they'd love to see us kind of
Anything you want to
work
chat
on,
about? Yeah.
big-
Also.
Yeah. The big thing, like the big focus for me is like fun for the community and how you can basically feel like ownership in what you own, which sounds crazy, right? Like, but we actually want to give you something or somewhere where you kind of feel that community place, that sort of, ownership kind of holder area. We don't know 100% what that looks like yet, but like we definitely want to include it with the live streaming and the content we're creating. Because I could see us doing, like some awesome stuff. Imagine this is just something that's popped into my head, so this is not something we're building, but imagine you log into where the stream is running and you hold a cool cat. Effectively you could click a button and then your cool cat shows directly on screen. Right, like we could do some cool stuff like that, I think. And then it feels like we all get to hang out and have fun, and then from there we can obviously bring in even more people to join us, but they don't necessarily have those those holder elevated privileges on certain things. So I'm excited. I think we're gonna what's some of the new age terminology. I think we're gonna cook. We're gonna slay. We're gonna eat.
Yeah, we're gonna eat.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not me.
No,
but,
this is he's lying. This is exactly how he talks in Slack all the time. Link came in, he just brought all this crazy new slang. Keep saying slay, Tyler.
They don't realize
an email like greedy. Again, positive work environment for sure, but that's so funny. Yeah, so you're using
this problem
GC basically. Yeah,
happened
oh, it's the Wacom again. The pen.
It's the Wacom where the pen stopped working. So I'm like, I know. I'm like, why does this? Because this happened 2 streams ago or something. I'm like, it's so confusing.
That's annoying. I'm sorry.
So, is that how you say your name, by the way? Jisoo.
Oh yeah, with this.
How do you
I'm be honest, this was a point
because we were having a debate because we think we're all wrong.
Yeah, we were like, none of us are right, and we know that, but we don't know who is least right as well.
Yeah, that's great. This is so competitive. Like
I was right.
Like pressure,
okay, I feel
you were right.
Validated in that.
Jicious. Yeah.
Right. How do you say that then?
Jicious.
Can't even say it.
I'm not competitive or anything.
No, you actually did say that.
Notoriously pretty calm guy. No competition in my body.
No competition in my body.
That quiz is
I'm a different person. I'm a menace now that I have a perfect score. You guys have unleashed something that
500 score Jisoo. Like
what can't he do? Right?
What's next for Tyler?
I'm gonna get humbled pretty quickly by this coloring here. So
oh, okay, good.
Thank God I have digital to assist me because I am a firm believer that like there's the whole like color outside the lines, express yourself. And I like that as a concept.
color
I also
outside
know
the
in my heart of hearts that I'm like, why would I do that? The lines are literally there for a reason. That's so sick. What's wrong with people who are doing that? Like,
I gotta restart. I
You're
forgot.
good.
I was like, I'm like trying to fix this, and I'm like, how did I fix it last time? And I forgot. I just like reset.
the good old unplug it and plug it back in.
It really does work.
I'm playing a lot of Minecraft recently. We were talking about that on we were talking about that on Tuesday? Playing Minecraft?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we debated doing that today.
Yeah, that was inconsiderate. So that's the other thing too, is I think it's of note that creativity comes in a lot of forms, and one of them is games, and one of them is whether that's physical board games, video games, things like that. Obviously, we have the artistic side, but we're also open to other ideas. If you have suggestions of stuff you want to see on the creativity stream, there may be something that isn't just pen and paper. There may be games, there may be trivia things, there may be all sorts of things that we haven't even thought up yet, but that's again where we want to hear from you is what would you like to see? We have ideas. We are more than happy to continue putting out the stuff, but we also want to make sure that as we're doing it and as we're trying and iterating new things, that it's engaging. One of them, I was getting ready because I know, Link, you're a master builder. Klon, you have some of the best builds I've ever seen in Minecraft, and I am. Somebody asked how I play, like what's your play style? Some people are adventurers, some people are
I'm an adventurer.
The builder. I am. I said I don't know if anybody watches Always Sunny, but I do the Charlie work. It's like you need 47 stacks of cobblestone. I'm your man.
I got you.
You set me loose on one boring task. I got it. I'll probably die about 14 times doing it, and that's okay. I will get frustrated, but it's gonna get done. So you guys get to.
I have like the toggle, right? So like, I think like definitely like building. Like I've been kicked from some Minecraft servers because they don't like that my builds makes theirs look bad. So,
and I will.
That's an exaggeration.
Link on this. His builds are amazing. He's not just talking the talk.
I really enjoy it though, right? And I always think if you enjoy something, you're going to be good at it. But at the same time, I definitely can flick that switch where I like come out of the daze and I'm like, why is there a cobblestone still on the floor and I have a full inventory? I've only been here 5 minutes, haven't I? Oh wait, it's the next day. Like,
that was me last night. I looked down and it was 12:45 in the morning, and I was like, I started at 8. I skipped dinner. Oh my god, what happened?
It's a good session. That's what happened.
It's because you ate in Minecraft. So you were like,
that just solves
it. Okay, actually though, I've definitely thought about that a lot. Of like, it's crazy that you will stay so consistent with eating in a game, but then you forget to eat in real life.
You're like, wait, the real boy needs food. Hold on.
Dude. How many times I've like skipped dinner time and then I eat dinner like the latest time.
Yeah, poor Madison's gotten used to being like, damn, I guess I just forgot. My bad. She's like, okay.
Oh, well. There's another game that I think would be really fun. I'm almost thinking like question mark third stream, like anyone, like, because it feels like it doesn't need to be a big thing, right? The gaming kind of stream, if you like, but it's nice that it would be separate from the art potentially.
Totally.
Because one thing I've always, and this is a selfish thing, one thing I've always wanted to play is like Among Us with a few people on voice, right? I feel like it would be so good to question people and be like, did you do it? Like, do you know what I mean? Maybe a little bit more clever.
Right. Did you do it? Was it you? You had. You can't lie online. You have to tell me if you did it. So.
Yeah, because no one lies.
No, it's illegal. Well, who would do that?
Yeah.
I will say I definitely don't like Among Us.
You're not Among Us guy?
That feels like you have to play.
I know.
Okay, so that's one that
now
feels
that
like,
I've said it, yeah, I have to play.
Yeah, we're dragging you in. But that is one that feels like you either not a big fan or are like, I have maybe realized some tendencies about myself that I am not that proud of. Because there some of my friends have just unveiled some deep, dark secrets about themselves playing that game. It's like, you have just told me the most convincing lie, sworn on multiple members of your family, and at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, you got the win, so kudos, but also, at what cost? You know, are we sleeping at night? Like, are you feeling good about what's happened right now because you have won? But
I think that's the worst thing is I think I could be like that and sleep
Yeah,
very
it's
well.
not a problem. Fully unbothered by it.
What's up, GP?
I'd be like, cool, I won.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you were crying. You were visibly crying at one point. What is wrong with you?
We saw tears stream down your face. I don't understand how this is happening.
It's like the what is it from? I feel like I think it's from The Simpsons, but I don't know if it is. It's the meme of the like, is it like Army Sergeant or something? And he's like, "Tear, get back in there."
Sucks it
and he
right back
sucks
up
it
into his eyes. Yeah,
Yeah, is it policeman
I
or
think so. But
Army Sergeant or something? But I can't
Clon, I'm
remember.
so glad you put the transparent version in here because I started coloring on the non-transparent version and I immediately soiled it. So I was like, all right, well,
Yeah, it was like some people would figure out just click multiply on the blending mode.
I'm not
the
some
one with
people.
light background,
Yeah.
and then you're good to go. But I was like, not everyone has access to that. So,
So this is a real tooltip though. So wait, what are you saying about multiply? Because again, I've found myself painstakingly erasing little like boundaries so I can color inside of them.
Well, here,
Yeah.
I think this is the biggest. I will probably repeat this on every single stream I go on because I remember when the guy who taught me how to do this, I just like my eyes were open. 1 sec. I need to flatten everything first. Jeez. Okay. Sorry. Bear with me here.
You're good.
We're gonna merge group. We're gonna copy that. All right, and we're gonna back up here. Okay. So let me hide everything and then paste it back. It's a little wonky, but because it has a transparent up there. So basically, let's say you have this flat image that has white on the background and it's a black and white image. If I try to color over it, color in, you're also coloring. Well, that doesn't help when I use white. So, but you're, whatever. You can't color behind it. So one thing you could do is, I wish I could make this a lot bigger, but on a lot of programs have this. It's called blending modes. And multiply means it's going to knock out any white. And like basically any light values get knocked out and any dark values stay. But when you're working in black and white, black stays, white goes away. So you click multiply and go to a coloring layer. Well, don't mind that blue cat.
Sure.
Basically, I can color now behind it, and I'm still coloring behind that white.
Oh.
So that's one way of doing it, but it's tough when it's not perfect white.
Sure.
But let's say you just wanted to like take this out from the background. This is the tip I tell everyone is you're going to pull out. This is only Photoshop, by the way. I should have said that.
That's okay. It's still good.
You pull out your eraser, and then I click Shift E, and you can also just go over to your eraser on the side and go to Background Eraser Tool. And you'll know because it has like a plus in the middle. Oh, that's why. Okay.
Hey-o.
Well, sometimes it's you don't know if your brush is and I'm
tiny or gigantic.
Between Windows and Mac so much, like my hotkey, whatever. So, anyways, you're pulling out the background eraser tool, and you do discontiguous, if I'm pronouncing that correct. Which is it's very important that you do that at the top, and then you make sure that your swatches over here on the left-hand side are black and white. Okay. And so I think, whatever's on top stays. Whatever's on bottom gets deleted. And so I have it as black and white. And I bump up the tolerance to 100% when I'm working in perfect black and white. And so then you just erase. And now you're just like perfectly erasing only white from the background. And that was a flat image, so now you have a transparent one.
Okay. I feel dumb. I've worked here for 2 years at this point, and I literally have just never asked you this question. Dude, the amount of lasso tool and magic selection and all the stuff to get the background out of images so I can color them in and like adjust color as necessary. You've literally just saved me days, weeks of productivity.
Dude,
so
There's so many hotkeys that someone will just like drop on you, and you're like, "Wait, what?" Like, there's
you're like
something
that.
that does a very specific thing like that. And so like another thing I'll do now, I'm just in the mode of teaching.
I love it.
I'm gonna pull out a new artboard here.
I just got that feeling of like, oh, this is how people feel when I talk to them about code.
Yeah, exactly. Let me make sure I pull up something I can. Oh, this was the drawing. I think I did this on stream. But I'll like, if you're trying to take this is if you're trying to trace something. I should have brought out like a pen image. Let me see if I got one I can. Oh, this one works. Here, I did this for the stream schedule. Because I drew this in pen. Let's say you're trying to take out this D20. Let me delete that. Go bigger here. Okay. So we will rasterize it, which means now it's all pixels. It's like flattened itself. So I'm just going to take out this. Command-Shift-J to copy and paste that to a new layer. And then, so what you don't see here is that it still has white. And then you pull out your levels tool, which is Command-L. You choose what you want to be black, and then you choose what you want to be white. And sometimes I'll select those like light gray areas because you're trying to get rid of them. And then you bring in the sliders. And so now it's pretty black and white. And that's when you pull out that eraser tool again and make sure that you have black on top and white on the bottom of your swatches, and then you can just erase it. And so now you just took something you scanned, made it a perfect black and white, and then took it off of the page really easily.
Yeah. I mean, this is huge. Like Jess said, loving the art class. Secretly, that is my goal of these. When we were pitching streams, I was like, how can I get Klon to teach me how to be a better artist? And also the community as a result. But selfishly, right here, need the help. But for real, like, it's huge. This is a great tip. Like, because again, obviously some of these are, you said some of these are limited to Photoshop, right? Like there's not necessarily that tool and everything.
Yeah. I don't know about Procreate, but I don't know about Procreate actually.
I think there may be one in here. Again, I'm a total beginner in here. I literally use it to just like, I have an idea, put it down somewhere where I don't have pen and paper, and then that's it. But I think this is really cool because then too, if you have a program that isn't Photoshop, you can now you now have tools to go look for whatever that may be.
Yeah, exactly. And Van, I actually don't know what CSP is.
Is that
I take it that's like another drawing software.
Is it Coral
That's
Studio?
what I was thinking. Yeah.
Is it
Coral
Coral
Studio?
Coral. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Also,
and like
could be wrong.
there might be some of these things. It's like I've never explored because I've just always used Photoshop, probably for like 20 years now. It's crazy to say that. Like
that is pretty wild.
Yeah.
So, okay, Klon, can you answer one more? I'll let you get back to coloring here in a second, but can you answer one more question about blues coloring specifically? Less the tone and hue, because I have the palette. But when one of the signature things is drawing blues ears with like the ear, line, ear, and then there's a gap. And I think a lot of people leave that out. But with the gap, when I'm coloring it, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but like when I'm coloring it, I've got it pretty much right up to the gap, but then I leave it like 50-50 is kind of my goal.
Yeah, you're cutting it. Exactly. Okay. You're talking about the color.
Exactly. Yeah. Where I'm putting blue. I was always unsure, does it go all the way out? Does it go all the way in, or like 50-50-ish?
I try to keep it 50-50. Obviously, I'm never perfect either about it, but like if I was to be on this ear, yes, I would try to go to that 50-50, like right in the middle.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like it's funny things like the ear gap of just like how that it's black, how that even came to be, because it's like I just drew that because I started with the ears, did the ears, and like that was me picking up my pencil and going to the next one. So yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. And then, oh, Vanglog, you said Clip Studio Paint. It's like $3 a month. Oh, deal. That's a
that's
great
cool.
plugin.
Yeah.
Have you liked it so far? Because again, I'm always open to trying new stuff, but I want to make sure that like people enjoy using it before jumping in. You know.
So I may as well jump off. I think we're we're going to get to the point where I'm effectively going to be watching the stream anyway, so I may as well just go and watch it.
Go to the other side. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this is really cool. I think like it's nice to get the feedback that people like all the chats on the stream, which I think is nice, right? Because you can just see the whole community together, whichever platform they want to use. Yeah, if you play Ardi's quiz, send us some feedback. If you don't want to play it, send us some feedback why you don't want to play it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we need to get the lobbies figured out, and then
Yeah.
like I would love to try to get one going.
like a big one, yeah,
Oh
Yeah, like a big one.
yeah. I'll have a look at that.
Link,
Cool.
before you go, I just want to say too, I know that like obviously we'll be promoting stuff from the Cool Cats accounts, but can you shout out what your Twitter is too, so everybody make sure they're following you as well, in case we're able to put out more specific, like, hey, I put out one over the weekend. That may come from you rather than a CC account specifically.
Yeah. Let me. It's probably the easiest way to do it. I'm just thinking sometimes like. There you go. It's on screen. x.com/linkoid.
Okay.
I'll change it back now.
No, you're good.
But I think that those are kind of handy to use, because I was thinking about that before. We were talking about, are we going to send the link out? So then I changed it to quiz.ardisworkshop.com for a little while. So people who are maybe watching this when we start to piece things out, like as shorts and stuff, like they'll be able to see it. So
Sweet. Yeah, I love it. I like that it has its own URL too. When it's in the workshop, basically.
yeah, because it probably stay there, right? Like especially if it's like, we've come up with this other thing and people way prefer it. Okay, let's just focus on that. But the quiz will still be there if you want to have some fun. So yeah.
No, that's
all right,
perfect.
thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
I'll be working on stuff. We'll be chatting on things. I might not necessarily be on every single one of these, but like when we've got something to show and go through, or if we kick up Minecraft or Among Us, I'll probably appear.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Happy to have you back.
fun.
Link.
Yeah, have fun, you too.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
So this is good. So yeah, so Clun, one of the things too I've noticed, and you talked about this on last week when you were doing some more coloring, is you'll do a base layer and then shadows. When you're doing the shadows, I guess, can you talk about how you're doing the color selection for it? Because I always find that mine end up way too dark. And then also where you're placing them. Like, is there a theory behind how you're organizing where each the line? Well, even less the layers on, like, does it go on this side of the head or this side of the head, and you keep it consistent the whole time? And I mean, a part of it is like, use your eyes, right? Like, where do shadows naturally lay on people?
Funny because like technically I'm not shadowing correctly.
See, this is
like
good.
I always just like, the sun is coming in from like the top left. It's like coming down that way. And it depends on the drawing. It's actually something I want to get better at as well. But basically, when I start to like add shadow, which I was debating doing this, sometimes you'll do shadow before you color, which some people do, which is interesting. Like you get volume before. But anyways, I always, whenever I do anything with shadows, I know my menus are really tiny. I don't know if they're, but I make a new layer, call it shadows, and I have what I'm gonna do the shadow on top of, like the color or the what I'm filling in. I make a mask of that. So like the reason I make a mask of it, so if I'm coloring on top, I can't color outside of the lines. And so it makes it easy to do the shadows. So basically when I do shadows, I pull out black, which funny enough, I don't have a swatch for that. Pull out black. This is when I use blending modes again. and I've always used hard light
Okay.
for shadows, and then my range is usually somewhere around 20%, either above or below, depending on what you're on. And if it's a drawing I really care about, like, not to say I don't care about this drawing I'm working on right now, but some drawings I work on, I separate every single color, every single character, and like so I can like move things around if I need to. It's like Chugs' hair in this situation will probably get a different shadow value than his like body.
Sure. Okay.
And so in this case, yeah, I don't know which way I want to put the shadow, but I'm actually looking at Blue Cat right now. Let me move him more into the middle.
Yeah, he's the one that stands out more because Chugs with the like, and I'd be curious to see how you do Chugs as well. But yeah, like what you're doing with Blue Cat right now, where it's kind of like the contoured line on the outside of certain elements of the body, that feels like it makes more sense to me. And then a character like Chugs, in this instance, maybe if the light's coming from the top left, you won't necessarily see shading, but then let's say it's coming from the top right. Would you theoretically color his entire left side and like little arm and stuff like that in a different color, or would it be?
It's like technically you would want to color it like that, you know?
Right.
Like, see, this is where it's funny as we do these like art streams. Like, I'm also learning. That's kind of the
This
point.
is great, yeah.
And so like really, he would be darker. But since I hate that, that's when I just like fake it, I guess. Or sometimes if it's like the character I want to shade, I shade them first, and then everyone else just sort of has to follow along.
Sure.
But I'm not going to shade yet because I like to shade once I get all the color fills, because I use it as a mask and stuff.
That makes sense.
And this is a weird one because everyone's wearing something different in this.
I was gonna say that's the part I'm excited about because blue is blue, Ardi's gray, you know. But I'm curious to see what clothes people pick, what their inner feathered fashions out here and designing their clothes.
Gonna be so boring. Mine is basically like the Cool Cats collection with the button downs that they're wearing.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I like that.
They're just in like work attire. But
I
probably should. I think Blue Cat could be wearing a navy shirt, maybe. It'd work better. Oh yeah, I started. I mean, you guys kind of saw it with the Ardi's quiz, but it had that like dark blue outline. I've actually started testing using that just like across the board, and it's really cool. Like, when you start using a different color for the outline instead of black, it definitely makes it look a little bit more unique and aesthetic. So I'll probably be doing, I don't know if I'll be doing that for this drawing, but I have something else I'm working on that I'm doing it for, and it looks awesome.
Let's go. This is good to know from comments too. Van Glog and Jess both seem to say Clip Studio. Oh yeah, Clip Studio is very similar and easy to learn. We love to hear that. Like that's kind of the big thing. It's like if it's easy to learn, it may be a little unintuitive. That's fine. I'm more than happy to put in some work on it. But I've just tried too many programs where it's been like horrible to learn. And then it's just like, this could be the greatest product in the world, and I'm just not interested in it.
Dude, and like Photoshop's not cheap. That's the issue.
No.
That's why I can't recommend it. You know, like I would love to recommend, oh yeah, you should just use Photoshop, but it's not always in everyone's like, you know, are you going to get the most out of what you're paying for when you use it? Because some people are just trying to get into drawing, and so they don't need the fanciest software. There's another drawing software. I think it's called like Medibang, and it's almost like it's Photoshop with only the illustrating components of it. And so I think that's another one people use. Procreate is definitely like, if you got an iPad, just get Procreate. iPad with the pencil, obviously.
I can attest to that. And honestly, like the thing is too, at the end of the day, pen and paper work just as
Yeah.
well as anything
Yeah.
else, right?
Yeah.
Like that is the tried and true method for a reason. And Klon, you've even mentioned this. You tend to prefer pen and paper, right? Given the opportunity.
100%. Yeah.
So
I'm like, I'm glad I finally have the camera set up for it, because I just sometimes I know on stream I'm like trying to get an idea sketched digitally. Like I'm trying to do it digitally and sketch something that's in my head and it's just not translating. Where I just have a much easier time doing that on pen and paper. And there's even a difference I notice when I draw with pencil and paper and pen and paper. I typically like my pen and paper drawings more because they already have that high contrast look of using a black pen. But I feel like because I couldn't erase or like second guess myself, I just had to do like clean lines the whole time. It just usually looks better. And I think I enjoy it more. But that's definitely how I started too. With like when I was doing the cartoonist, it was all pen and paper.
Nice. Well, and like I think one of the things you and I have talked about, and I think you've mentioned it on stream, is like there's no wrong way to do it, right? If you're being creative, if you're trying something new, that's objectively a win.
Yeah.
That said, there are also things that can make continuing that process easier. If you're in a position where you are lucky enough to have an iPad and you can do the pencil, like that for me, recognizing that not everybody has that has been great, because I am able to really dive into this and I can press the undo button as many times as I want. There's no eraser marks. There's no kind of prior showings of the parts that I didn't know. And I get to improve without having to really feel the pressure of like, well, I hope I don't burn through this really nice pencil, or I hope I don't, use this really nice paper, or like if it's gifted to you, like art supplies. Like we had a friend growing up who was a great artist, but would get gifted art supplies and never use them. And we were like, why are you doing that? And they're like, because I always feel so much pressure to make something perfect on it.
Yep.
And it's like, well, but we're gifting it to you to practice. We inherently want something imperfect out of that. Like,
yeah, so you're saving it. You're like saving it in your mind for like the drawing that you want to do. But unfortunately, the drawing, like it's like a big, I don't want to say misconception, but I feel like a lot of people fall into that trap that they're like waiting for the big drawing. And it's like, you don't know when it's going to happen until you've like started doing it. Where it's like I was going to pull this out.
Also, Vanglog, I just saw your post in the Discord. It is great. You're nailing it.
Wait, what?
Vanglog just posted in the Discord what theirs looks like, and it's phenomenal. It's a really good start. I love seeing the progress so far too. Like it's so
people are gonna be able to beat me.
You've taught us well, Klon.
Let me put up here just in case. Okay, never mind. All right, what I was going to show on stream though is like, this is a big reason I think I switched to digital, is because how I used to do it is, oh yeah, my camera's right here. I used to buy all of these markers, and they're awesome. They are some of the best markers you can use. They're called Copics.
Yep.
Amazing to color with. And for anyone who doesn't know about Copics, these are like $7 a piece. And so it's like just to use a color you want, you have to pay $7. And I'm fortunate that the things that I color are very small. So I get a lot of use out of having these. But some people draw big things and like they buy these Copics and then like in one drawing, done. And so it's like, so sometimes that's what you're paying for if you ever buy a piece of art, is like the art supplies that went into it. But the big reason I switched to digital is because you have every color available to you. And I remember there's this artist that some people may know, and I always kind of mess up his name, is Jean Julien. He's a French illustrator who like, I guess paints first. And anyways, his stuff looks really awesome. And he has a massive following now, but back in the day when I was starting the cartoonist, and I guess he was like kind of starting his whole trajectory as the artist he is now, I sent him an email, and it was the best decision of my life, because like I highly recommend this to anyone. The reason I'm telling this story is because I recommend it to everyone. It's like if you're inspired by someone and you feel like contacting them is like unobtainable, like try send them an email or whatever, like whatever contact they have available. Because I emailed him and I was like, hey, you are very like similar to how I draw in my process and XYZ, but like how do you get things to look so clean? And he says I don't color. Like, I mean he does, but he doesn't color with like the markers I just showed you. He would take his ink drawings and like scan them in as perfectly as possible and then color how I'm doing sometimes. And I guess I do it now because he told me how to do that, of like taking that image. And that's how you like maintain that cool like hand-drawn look, is by hand drawing it and perfectly scanning that in. Because like I love digital, but like everything almost comes out too perfect. And I kind of love the roughness of like scanning in pencil and paper. But anyways, I'm happy to be doing it now. I think you're mentioning that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just, I love the point about just reaching out, right? Making a connection, because you never know. At the end of the day, I was having this conversation with somebody recently, and at the end of the day, what it comes down to is people who are creative, people who are in positions of power, people who are somebody you look up to, anybody, all of those start with them being people. And that sounds dumb and it sounds a little, woo-woo, but for real, like they are human people with human experiences. They enjoy the same things you do. They, I don't know. It's just a good reminder that like somebody can be a really powerful inspiration. Somebody can be somebody you look up to and maybe should be. But at the end of the day too, they have feelings, they have, emotions, and they also probably look up to somebody. And wish that they could reach out. It's funny to me to see a celebrity on a red carpet who is starstruck by another celebrity, because it feels so strange. It's like, well, you're in the same echelon. You're both equally famous. That person might be more famous who's starstruck, and it's like, yeah, but maybe they grew up idolizing that person. Maybe they grew up never dreaming in a million years they would meet them, and maybe that person looks up to them in an equal manner. Or after conversation may end up doing so. So I'm of the exact same opinion of you, Klon. There's no harm in reaching out and saying, hey, I really admire what you do. If I'm on the receiving end of that message, that is probably the nicest thing I've heard that week. Like,
right. Yeah.
It's never a bad thing to tell somebody.
Right. You get no, or you just no response,
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, you keep moving on. But yeah.
Let's see. So this may be more of a color theory thing, but I'm curious because when I'm trying to, like, I see you set like a tan yellowish background. When I'm trying to set a background color, sometimes I'll run into something where I feel like I can't find the color I'm looking for without messing with the opacity. Like I want a lighter version of that. But I want it to be a full opacity. Do you have any tips on finding like a color like that? I know kind of a...
No, I mean, my way is, it's like, sometimes I recommend things on stream and I'm like, that might not be the best tip. So what I'll do in that situation is I'll get the color exactly where I want, take a screenshot, put that screenshot on and color pick that color that you want, like, because sometimes you'll color pick an opacity and it picks up on the fact that it's an opacity, right. So it still doesn't give you the color you want. But when you just take a screenshot of your whole page and like put that back into the artboard you're working and then color pick it'll pick the color you want. So that's like, again, I don't know if it's the most sound advice, but it works when you need it to.
Oh, that's great. Well, and like one thing that I found too is messing with the base color can tend to affect it a lot, which sounds dumb. But like right now, I'm trying to find like a tan. And I realized on my color wheel or color picker, I had a red selected as the base. And so I was getting these like darker grays than I wanted. And now I switched over to more of a yellow, and it's finding that tan a lot easier because again, you have to kind of think of, okay, what is the base color I'm working in from like a primary standard? Is it, red, blue, green, yellow, whatever? I know green's that, but you get what I'm saying. And then you work up from that in the black to white scale rather than trying to be like, it's yellowish, orangish, green, blue. And you're like, well, you're never going to find that. Like,
no, color theory is really cool. And I wish I was a little bit better at it. I took one color theory class, but I was a little distracted because that's when I met Jeej.
Okay, so that's fair. Yeah.
I had priorities.
Pretty reasonable distraction, I'd say.
Yeah. No, and I was just so bad at it. I remember we had this, I mean, I bring this up all the time that I'm a little colorblind, but we had this project where you took like, let's just say like a landscape. Oh yeah, you're partially red green colorblind. Same. So maybe that's why you like my style, because we're like speaking the same language with our eyes. I have to draw with vivid colors because it's like my best way of seeing the color. That's why I like blue. But in the color theory class, we had to take like a landscape drawing, and then you like pixel it in like the biggest pixels ever, and then you have to like match those colors perfectly with paint, like traditionally.
That is like a magic trick to me. I will spend hours watching videos of people who can just be like, this color, pop, and then they like slide a piece of the paint onto that thing, and it blends in perfectly. That is literal magic to me.
Yeah, 100%. I actually need to go get that painting. Now I talk about some of these things. I saved them all, but they're not in my apartment.
Sure.
I think I think I stowed them at my parents' house. I was like, when I get a house, I'm coming back for these things.
There you go. I like in your rendition, Ardi's not wearing shoes.
I know, dude.
I assumed that they were form-fitting.
I mean, they can be. Look, I'm all for giving him shoes. I just hate drawing shoes.
I think I'm gonna go.
I like all the characters to just be essentially bare feet. It's like basically I want all of the characters to have like some form of clothing. And so like Joe, so the reason Joe has boots is because her dress is also like her feathers. So it's not quite like she's wearing like a jacket like Ardi or just a t-shirt like Blue Cat. So she needed something else to stand out, and that's why she wears boots. Also because she loves shoes. Like Jeej. Do you know color blindness is related to the Y chromosome? I didn't actually. So yes, only men have it. I did know that actually. I did know that generally only men do, which is why I actually don't think I ever have met a woman that has been colorblind. And I like ask sometimes when, I don't know, it's just amazing to me that I've never seen that. It's also oddly like, maybe I'm making a stereotype or generalization, but it's also like an Irish thing. I've met a lot of Irish people who are colorblind. Maybe that's just my life, but have ancestors who are Irish. Yeah.
That's interesting.
But it's weird. I don't get it, but being colorblind is interesting. I still refuse to try the colorblind glasses because I'm like, I don't want to know what I'm missing.
Right.
And I'm like content with how I see colors now. But the first color I would want to go see is red. Cause like I've just always like through life and how people talk about the color red, I feel like I see it different. Like I know I see it differently. It's vivid for me, but like when people talk about it, it feels like it like stands out more than anything to them.
So I have this Wrexham jersey. Shout out Wrexham going up this year. I have this exact jersey in their primary red, which I'm wearing now, and then a black. And I wear the black because I wear a lot more just black clothes in general. But it's because I don't wear red in my day-to-day outfits generally because it pops so much.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I'll wear, if I wear a red, it's like a dark maroon, burgundy, like basically brown red, if not like trending closer towards like black and red. But yeah, bright red stuff. Like we just found this new thrift store in town. It's like 20,000 square feet. I was telling Jeej that if you guys come out, we're taking you there basically straight from the airport. But one of the sections I found myself consistently skipping was they had it all color organized. And I would just skip over the red section because I'm like, I just don't, none of this like draws me in. It's like, it pops and it's very vivid, but it's not a color for me. And so I found myself in this like all like the dark colors, greens and blues and all that. And it's like, it's funny how much of an impact not only color can have on like your clothes, but like, you know, my room is painted a certain color. And then there's psychological studies that say like, okay, well, if you paint a yellow versus a blue versus a green, it will like inspire, not every single time, but like has a tendency to inspire different moods and things like that. It's wild to me.
Well, and like blue specifically is used in hospitals because it's calming.
Right.
And it's like it's like the reason it gets used. Which I always thought was interesting. And I grew up with a baby blue room, which I really think is why I love blue so much. Is that pink? Yeah. Dude, Joe's pink like bill, like, you know, mouth is like a color that I forget where I put it every time. And so I hate that I have to go to this, but
see, I'm gonna look down here while you're doing this. If you pull up evidence for it, because I was gonna say if you do it, I've got a palette with me, so I'm not like doing it 100% just off book, but the palette is just for like the character colors, and then I have like a white, a gray. And then I think what else is in here? Like a yellow and a bright blue. And then the outline black, because it's not full black. That would be like, is it all F? Is it all 0? I don't remember which one.
I've started using perfect black, actually.
Okay.
It's funny. I've like gone through, I always go through waves of what I use. And now I'm starting to think I'm going to use the dark blue because I think it's cool. But yes, it's 0, 0, 0, 0. It's 6 zeros. Okay. And then white is 6 Fs.
Gotcha. Okay. I inevitably forget those and mix them up, and then I get shell shocked when I try and type in a color hex code, and it's the exact opposite of what I'm looking for.
Okay, here we go. We got. I'm gonna do this live on stream. Finally adding the swatch.
Hey, there you go.
I swear, it's like. Add that right there.
I'm also
specifically that color. I've just like never added for some reason.
I've decided I'm adding Ardi's the colors I couldn't ever wear when I was in court and practicing, because you're supposed to wear like blue or black. Ardi's got green pants. You know why? Green pants look great. He's gonna have brown shoes. You know why?
Oh wait, is it just the pants? Are you allowed?
No,
you're allowed to wear a white button up, right?
You can wear anything. You're encouraged, like traditional law clothes. All of my suits before I switched out of law were dark blue. I had a light gray for like certain occasions, but that felt a little informal. And then I had a black, and then I could just sub out like 3 ties. But like I got bow ties now. I got fun. I have a green velvet suit jacket that I would obviously never wear to court, but like he's not gonna be dressed like that. But I'm like, you know what? Let's bring fashion into the courtroom a little bit, right? We've got Joe here as the stenographer. It's kind of fitting that you would have somebody who, you know, maybe that's why I already lost. He got a little too bold with his fashion choices.
Yeah. And Joe is just unimpressed.
Yeah, she's like not interested.
Yeah.
When you're using like Joe's eyes look slightly lighter than Chug's. You're still using like almost a little off-white for Chug's, right?
Oh yeah, Chugs' body is always off-white.
Okay.
It's also really hard to see. So I'll sometimes not use a white background when coloring because of lighter values.
Gotcha.
And then I use this color because the courtroom is like majority that color. So I was like, all right, that's kind of the background I'm coloring on top of it. I also am like, when people watch on stream, I feel like the last thing they want is just a really bright white.
It's like a flashbang. Yeah, when you turn the yellow off, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I'm like, all right, especially when I'm like full screen like this. Link said he forgot to ask a question. 100 men versus one gorilla.
Link just likes to.
The gorilla wins every time.
The gorilla wins, and if you think otherwise, unfortunately, you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's a proven fact that people are horrible, like humans as a species are horrible at estimating how many people or how many things a given value means. So like when you say $1 million versus $1 billion, it's like we can't really comprehend what that means on like a count to that number type of perspective. 100 people is a lot of people, is what I'm getting at. That said, because I had this discussion a day or two ago. My thought is there's not a way to concentrate 100 people's fighting energy into one gorilla. If the fight's ARAM, it's way different.
No, the fight is Overwatch. Oh, we're talking about Winston here.
Yeah. Oh, if it's Winston, then no worries. Like, yeah. He's cleaning up. But this is like, okay, so like look at like a kung fu movie, right? You never see 7 people punch the guy at once. And albeit it can be frustrating, but it's like they line up to get whooped. And it's like, well, why are you doing that? And the reason is because if me and 4 buddies go to punch one person, guaranteed one of us is getting knocked out, not by the enemy. So like you can have 100 people. It's going to be a war of attrition, but the gorilla wins this for sure. Also,
like, so how do you get through that skin? Like, because
you don't.
Because obviously this is a meme, right? Like, and I've been really offline. So like, I'm like,
qualify. Robert Irwin put it best. I don't love that we're arguing whether or not people could defeat an endangered species, but if we are,
yes, exactly. This is the hypothetical, but I'm just like, so from what I've seen online is that it's with no weapons. It's just bare hands. Like,
hand-to-hand combat. Yeah.
That's why it would never work. That's like the only reason humans are number one is because we have tools. Like, that's it. If we didn't have tools, we would not be number one.
Link's using the power of engineering to solve this issue. He said, what if you punched the back of each subsequent person's elbow? I feel like there's some physics constant that there would just be a finite amount of strength. I do like the idea that if you could line elbow to elbow, like, fist to elbow like this, and just one big punch, that you would theoretically carry forward extra mass. There's got to be a diminishing return, though. Quan, I did warn you about that. So I've done a variety of things in my past life. One of them, I have like 150 episodes of a podcast out with me and my best friend where we just talk about stupid stuff like this. One of the biggest episodes that went for like over 2 hours was us discussing, it was like a similar scenario where it's like you get to pick one of these things and then you fight against everything else. Or no, you pick 2 of them, and it was like 10,000 rats and 10 water buffalo and 8 crocodiles and 16 hyenas and 4 lions, 3 grizzly bears, and you had to like discuss how you would frame all of it. This is my bread and butter. Link has opened, unfortunately for everyone here, a can that cannot be closed now.
Yeah, the one that my friends always and I would always say is, would you want to fight one horse-sized duck?
Oh yeah,
or 100? It was like 100, I think.
Duck-sized horses.
Yeah.
I feel like
I would go with the 100 duck-sized horses because, dude, I just think about the wingspan of like a horse-sized duck and how crazy that would be. Whereas like at least I could try like kicking. I don't know. I just have the height against
Yeah, you've got
I
the
think
upper
either
ground.
way I would die. That's the conclusion. Doesn't matter which way I go. I'm done. The gorilla would win because after the first few people got hurt or killed, everyone else would leave. Yeah, it's almost like Squid Game. That first, once they like see
Right.
the action, they're like, "Oh,
Uh-oh.
if I stay here, I'm gonna die." Well, it turns out if you try to leave, that's how you die.
Yeah, that's when you've turned your back on the gorilla. He's now running at you, and he's just gonna Hulk smash you like Loki into the ground. Like it's just game over. I'm with you on the 100 versus 1. You gotta assume that the duck is gonna have large talons. If it's a horse and it scales everything up, that thing's gonna have like 2-foot swords, 3 times a piece, plus a dew claw on all of its feet. No, I'm good. Thanks. And then wingspan alone, he's gonna do what is it, the Pidgeotto move where it's like the tornado?
It's game like over. Whirlwind or
that's it. I'm done. I'm getting tossed like a tumbleweed, and I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's a good point. Didn't even think about it. Just simply flapping. That's it. You're just done.
It'd be really bad. I cannot get the color of these shoes how I want them.
Yeah, I'm struggling with what I want the wallpaper to be. What's in your experience?
White or tan? I went with a tan.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the tan, like almost like Chug's color. I want to make it sound layer because I'm probably gonna switch it. But
okay, let's see. Trying to see what. Yeah, this color. Oh, I guess you can. This is gonna expose me fashion-wise that I just don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to like. Ardi's so fashionable. They'll be like, no, he got kicked out because he had bad fashion.
Yeah, that's the other thing. If anyone's coloring along, also think about what is Blue Cat apparently not guilty of.
True. Right. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
I welcome conspiracy theories if you think he's still guilty.
I like the expression that you gave him because it makes it feel like he's just daydreaming and that he has like no idea what he's actually here for necessarily. He's just jazzed that he heard not guilty. He's like, he knows those words are good. He does not know what they mean.
Yeah. Oh, not guilty.
Let's see. Is this?
Yeah. Afterwards, Jeej was like, I still think you should have made Chug smaller and the hammer bigger. I was like, you're not wrong. Yeah. All right. Link said, okay, last question. Would you want to fight 100 duck-sized horse? Wait, that's what I said.
Yeah, this is the one right here that we just talked about. Come on, Link.
Maybe he switched from X to YouTube in that time. No, it said Link. We said the 100 duck-sized horses. Oh, duck-sized ducks. Oh my God, I'm just dyslexic.
Oh, I'm definitely not fighting.
He's probably laughing right now that I read that wrong.
I glanced up and was like, "Come on, man."
He got me off stream.
Yeah. Dude, did I tell you about? Okay, this is gonna. I gotta take a quick pause because it sounds like I'm about to talk about fighting a duck. I'm talking about saving a duck. But did I tell you about saving a duck like 2-3 weeks ago?
No, you didn't.
Okay, so we were out on a walk. I live in a city that has a lot of like great parks nearby, and two of them have ponds. And we were like commenting that at one of these ponds there was no ducks, and it was kind of weird. So we went over to the other one. Beautiful day, but this is still. I guess this would have been probably a month ago at this point. It was still frozen over a little bit. And so we're sitting there and all of a sudden we hear this like flap, 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 flap. And I was like, what is going on? And we assumed it was just a bunch taken off, but like nothing was moving. We just kept hearing this flapping noise. And then my wife looks over and she's like, and like drags me and kind of turns my attention. There's a duck that has gotten itself like half of its body like wedged between a rock and a sheet of ice because it was trying to like fish for something, and then it couldn't.
Hard place.
Again, I can't say it's so true. I couldn't say that I wouldn't have done the exact same thing, but it was trying to pull its head straight back out and it was not working instead of like taking a second. And so this poor thing. So I run over. I'm like, what do I do? And I punched a hole in the ice and got this duck out. And then I'm just holding this like sopping wet duck that lives in the wild. And I'm just like, and people started clapping. I thought that only happened in movies. They were like, "Yeah, nicely done,
he did it."
like, and I had to be careful because I didn't want to punch so hard that I punched the duck, but I had to punch hard enough to break the ice. So it was like,
Oh my gosh,
needless
that's
to say, it was
He's
one of the
Minecraft
wilder ones,
style, and you were just
right?
like,
Yeah, but it was
like
like,
Minecraft you're playing, dude.
oh wait, yeah, that was the Mario. That was the thwomp. The
Yeah.
Insane though. Definitely one of the crazier. Yeah, Timo versus Ice. 10 out of 10. Perfect score over here is breaking that ice. I promised you I would be unbearable about this. I'm so sorry.
So now I'm like, I need to. Gold is another color I struggle with. Getting the right, like, dialed in color. But I'm like trying to think if I have gold anywhere as a reference. But I got to do the seal of approval.
I'm so glad you put that in there. Thank you for doing that.
It's perfect. Actually, I'm just going to start with yellow, and then I'm going to, like, color it from there.
There you go. Oh, that's not great. What color would go nicely for his tie?
I genuinely look forward to luck of the draw and what characters I'm gonna have to draw.
Oh yeah,
I will be honest. I'm like, I just want to draw Kira, or one of the sidekicks. I'm just like waiting for that to happen.
I think it'll come up sooner than later.
Oh, it definitely will. I just honestly, for the first 2 streams, it genuinely couldn't have gone better. It's like Blue Cat and Chugs, and then all of the characters.
Right.
So I can't complain, you know. And then I think I want this plaque to also be gold. And I don't know. I think it'll work. Yep.
Okay, fashion people. I've given Ardi a blue tie, green pants, and brown shoes. Have I messed up?
A green tie.
Yeah, it doesn't look great. The shoes, I think I can work with this. I think the shoes got to be black if that's what I go with.
I should have given Blue Cat a bow tie. Kira's so fun on the milk jug. Genuinely sheepy. That was my favorite part. Like, I didn't really get to talk about that. Working with Natasha was crazy. First of all, that was the first time I've worked with talent where like I just like knew what they've done in life and have been a consumer of the things they've been in. So like it was really cool being able to like get to know her for a little bit and tell her about this character, because like she had no idea what this was, obviously. It's like, okay, so here it is. You're also gonna sing a song. She wasn't ready for that at the time. It was so funny. But she killed it because like we went through a lot of auditioning for Kira, and then when Natasha came up, kind of like the unanimous decision, or like the reason was like she has this kind of like old timiness to her voice when she talks, and that's like perfect for Kira just in a normal sense. But then like she was able to like flip that switch and go evil and like do like the maniacal laugh and stuff, and it was just perfect. Because like I want Kira to be a villain, but I don't want it to just be like she's just 100% a villain, bad person, like nothing more to it. Like I want Kira to have that comedy side to her, which is why I love at the end she's like, actually I'm just gonna go, and then like runs away. It's those little moments, and like I'm excited to keep exploring Kira. But yeah, Link, who wants a reaction live stream of me watching the milk chug? I know I want to do that personally, because like watching it is when I'm like, oh right, I remember in the writer's room when we talked about this detail, and like it's just fun to reminisce on it. Genuinely was an absolute dream come true to work on. Coloring done. Yeah, I figured people would beat me.
It
Can't
looks
do shadows,
good.
though.
No, it looks good. Also, Ardi with the gold belt goes kind of crazy. I really like that. I was thinking, so okay,
I'm like
so
hesitant to look because I don't want it to influence mine.
No, that's fair. So I can kind of describe it here, but like, yeah,
hell yeah.
I love the idea of putting blue in a different colored shirt because I'm tempted to do the same. I have him in white right now, and I'm like, I think that's very proper, but I'm also like, Blue Cat does not feel like somebody who would know how to dress up for court.
Oh, I'm trying to like, okay, so this is Vans. I can pull up on stream.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. And you're making me want to make Chugs' hair gray. That was a better call than what I did.
Van, you nailed the desk part too. That's one I'm struggling with, is making it look like it's multi-dimensional.
You did. See, this is what I was worried about. Well, I'm gonna copy you a little bit.
Do it, yeah.
I struggle with browns and stuff, and so because the whole time I'm like, what will I make the countertop? And it's like, oh yeah, just make it like a darker brown. Killed it though. This looks awesome. I love and I like Ardi's different. I like what you did with Ardi because it references him as a character more. You did that for both. I'm just now realizing. I gotta say, I'm a little embarrassed. I didn't even consider that. It's like, oh yeah, let's keep Ardi in his color palette. Yeah, amazing job. That looks awesome.
It's really, really good.
I'm taking notes. And then I'm definitely gonna color this darker brown. Oh. Also, for some reason, my everything on mine seems like muted.
I was just gonna say, it seems like it's like something's
like it's not as vivid.
Yeah,
I'm gonna roll with it because I've gotten this far. But yeah, I'm like, everyone looks different. Like Joe doesn't look like Joe Red. That's probably the easiest one to see the difference.
I agree.
But luckily with how I'm doing this, I'm really just getting the color blocks down so that I can start like like paint bucket changing colors.
There you go.
Mine looks more fitting to the situation though. I mean, you just nailed like all the shadows, or like the different levels of like coloring on this desk and stuff. And then like I said, you nailed getting the keeping the characters consistent with like their actual color. Because now I'm like, maybe I'll give Blue Cat, like if I do this quickly, Blue Cat's still wearing, oh, that's not it. Yeah, wait a minute.
Hold up.
I have yellow selected. Oh. Dang. Okay. Now I see why. I mean, I'm glad I found this out. Okay. We're so back. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so if I'm taking a note from your page, but then what if I made his tie? So that's closer to Blue Cat. And then Ardi would be wearing, yeah, that. And then I guess this would be, he'd be wearing a white tie. Yeah, nice.
That's
you,
cool.
man.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that was, I guess they're both wearing. So Blue Cat could also, if I wanted to give him color, he could be wearing a green tie.
Oh, that's cute. That looks like a shirt too.
I'm going to do that only because I would rather Artie's tie be white. And I don't want them to be the same. Nice.
I want to see somebody take this, and like one of my favorite things is when somebody will take a blank slate like this, but then they'll go crazy with it and put like punk rock version, and they like add a mohawk and a bunch of piercings and tattoos, or like the classical version, and everybody like they take this and then add like Baroque features to it and stuff. I would love if somebody in here is talented and willing to try something crazy with it that beyond just coloring it in. I know where my confines are, so I'm sticking to them. But any of the talented artists out there, I would love to see kind of the add-on too, and see what you add to the piece.
Yeah, 100%. There's like a lot you could add on too. One count of making a broken quiz, Ardi is found not guilty. Ardi's gonna serve his crimes for all of the contraptions he's made. All of them fail. I'm just kidding.
If Joe wears polka dots, are those Joka dots?
Yes. Yeah. Joe would wear polka dots, though.
That's what I'm saying. These are the answers that people come to the stream for. This is the real info you're learning at the workshop.
You've got questions, we're answering the hard questions.
Tell everybody you know. Hard questions being answered here at Joe's workshop, or at Ardi's workshop.
Okay. Someone do shadows.
I said, Jess, I see that eye emote. I think I was thinking of you when you were talking about, or when I was talking about doing something crazy, adding on. I know there's, I can think of about 10 names off the top of my head that I would trust with that assignment. So just saying, if they show up on the timeline, they're getting recruited.
Okay, now let's see. I mean, my colors still look muted, but it should be able to. Okay. So weird.
Also, Klon, I'm very quickly realizing how you ended up streaming for like 3.5 hours. Again.
Right? Yeah. I would have finished this if I wasn't so hungry.
I'm like, I'll probably just head out here in a few, and a few was 45 minutes ago, and I'm like, well,
yeah. No, I probably will too. I'm like, I think I'll just kind of lightly get in this stuff. I didn't want to spend too much time on this one.
Yeah, we can call it at the top of the hour here. That's another 8 or so minutes, but would love to field any more questions before we head out. And again, the beauty of this is that we'll be back next Thursday too. And like Link mentioned, sometimes it'll be 1, 2, all 3 of us. We're obviously looking at how we can continue to add to the stream schedule. So while it may not be an immediate thing, if you've got ideas or want to pitch a show or something like that, then obviously be more than open to hear it. Feel free to shoot us a DM, get a hold of us on Discord, anything like that, because again, we're having fun. We're going to keep showing up and being here. And we would love for you guys all to join us in whatever way you can.
Yeah. I love these Ardi workshop memes, streams already.
Same.
Because I think once we get more into the thick of it, like there's going to be like assets Link might need for a silly, little experience we're working on. And like, I'll work on those on stream instead. Because like there's some things we obviously like don't want to announce because it's more fun to like announce that when it's ready. But for the most part, with all these like what you saw earlier today with the little quiz, it's like we're gonna show that to you while it's in process. It's gonna look buggy. It's gonna look like not finished. Sometimes it might just look finished, but it's just fun because like we can get that feedback and add things to it, and like, or everyone's just like, this sucks. Why are you building this? And then we're like, okay, great, on to the next thing. And like, I guess on Thursdays, these Ardi workshops, like we might have that new thing to show you. We might have the process update or whatever. So we don't even know what these streams will always be every week, but it'll be fun. I enjoy them.
Well, we wanted to give ourselves the freedom to iterate, right? So often, I mean, as you've seen, whether it's, well, anybody, right? Like there is a lot of value in putting a lot of time, effort, money, full resources into one thing. And then if it can't come true for one reason or another, sometimes it's in your control, sometimes it's fully out of it, most of the time, actually, then it stinks for everybody. So we would rather build here and show you and have you be part of it. Yeah, like Link said, we might even start labeling stuff as like danger, broke, work in progress, buggy, almost done and done. But we would rather, with our team, be able to take feedback quickly, iterate on it, and put out something that we all enjoy than be so stuck trying to do one thing forever that
like one big thing.
Right. You end up missing the ball, like,
and like halfway through realize, oh, people might not even like this. We maybe should have not kept this under wraps for too long.
It happens.
It happens. Also, Jess, you want to try coloring this, but you need some free time to draw and chill. I feel that. It's like sometimes you just want to color something. That's why, like, I know I look forward to coloring streams or like the coloring part of a drawing, because I feel it's like there's less to think about. It's like all the line work is done. You just have to color.
I know we're on Spaces, so it's obviously kind of weird if I don't talk, but I will say this, after my ADHD diagnosis, has been one of the things that I've found most like calming. Is coloring. It's funny because I can get frustrated by it in the sense that like it's like maybe it's not working how I'm hoping it will or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I could the spaces at which my mind is quietest are like the paint by numbers type stuff, or like miniatures, or anything where I have like fine detail that I can really get super granular on, that doesn't require like a lot more processing than that. It's like, well, I can try 40 colors in a row if I want, or I can pick one and be done with it. But either way, it's just there. And there's no pressure, there's no timer, there's no whatever. It just is. And it's like, oh, that's so lovely. So yeah, I suggested if you can find the time or make the time, because I've found this a lot recently where I'm like, I don't have time. And then I go play a game for 5 hours, or I go do something else. And it's like, no, you do have the time. You just are choosing not to do it. And that's okay. We need those days.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I feel that.
If you can find the time, I encourage everybody to give it a shot and just sit. Try drawing for a little bit. And maybe drawing's not your thing. Maybe it's Legos or creative writing or making music or whatever. But find your thing. It's very, very lovely to have a spot where you can just go sit, relax, and enjoy yourself a little bit.
Yeah, and that's why getting back to the streams, I know I've said this so many times, it's like one of the main reasons I need to stream again is because it just forces me to draw. Like, I have no option. I have now set up that I have to roll a dice and draw that thing. But it's like awesome because I'm forcing myself, I do end up creating the thing at the end. And then you get that satisfaction feeling of like actually drawing it. And it's funny, while I'm on stream, because I'm like so in it as I'm drawing it, and I've been there, like I haven't had that time to step away. I like turned off the stream and everything. I think I went to go eat, like rested for a second, and like maybe 2 hours later came back to the drawing. I was like, oh, this did look better than I had in my mind. It's like you like have to step away sometimes if you're like frustrated about what you're drawing, because you can come back with that fresh pair of eyes and you're like, I don't know, it just immediately fills you with more joy. You're like, I don't know, you're not bogged down on all the details.
Oh yeah,
which often happens.
I noticed in chat, just said there's like an 80% chance for ADHD to get passed on. So in a few generations, everybody will have it. Yeah, my wife and I both do.
Oh yeah,
we are already planning ahead for how we'll adapt things, because you live life a little differently. Like, we don't buy as many groceries because we know if we can't see them in the fridge, functionally they just don't exist. And then all of a sudden they go bad and you feel bad about it. And it's like, well, we're not doing that again. But yeah, it'll be curious to see how that all plays out. And then Link too, he said it's really interesting. He's almost like the opposite of like fill my brain with too much so I can chill and relax or switch off. He said, sounds stupid really, but it's true. I don't think that sounds stupid at all, because again, it's about finding what works for you. And so if you're in a position where it's like having 12 different things being thought about all the time, like that's stasis for me. And so being able to wipe those clean is lovely. And then in reverse, if it's just like, I got to have input, I got to have something, and that relaxes me, it's like, amazing. Go for it. Also, Sheepy, I love this note. I'm imagining Joe didn't take any notes. She just sketched a dress design. The typewriter's just there for aesthetics.
I'm going to draw that. I'm going to like draw a dress on it now. I love that idea.
That is really funny.
That's funny. Delete that layer. All right, this is hair shine. And we could probably do overlay. I love overlay. Overlay is the blending mode for most of the time white. It's like, if you look at my stream, the hair color, the like hair shine that I put, like I don't even have to drop the opacity. This is at full opacity. And then if I change the blending mode to it to overlay, it like already feels like it.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's when I've forgotten is the like go back and put shine on stuff because it feels silly. It's like, well, people aren't like shiny necessarily, but it's like that's also not necessarily true. It's not shiny like a mirror, but there are parts that reflect light and there are parts that don't. And so like I was proud of myself because I was like, I got shadows. And then I was like, why does it look like it's missing something? And I watched a tutorial and it was a dude who's like, now go add the shine in. And I was like, dang it.
Yeah, it's so true though. It really makes a big difference. Dude, adding shading and highlights, man, does it change a drawing. It like you can already see with like the podium, whatever.
Yes.
I don't know it's like you add like just the like shine on one side, shadow on the other, and it already feels more dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just do it subtly. I was probably going to add the accents on because there were supposed to be like rectangles on the cabinets.
Oh, sure enough, like
embossments or whatever.
The trim, yeah,
trim, exactly.
Link says, "Oh, by the way, I don't know if this is true, but my Photoshop went dull once, and I had to do Control Y. I don't know if that's the case here. I don't see any change, but."
Oh, I do.
Wait, move over to Joe.
No, sorry, I don't know if I see it with this, but I see what it's doing. It's like adding CMYK. That's interesting.
Oh, interesting.
And a little tip for if anyone doesn't know the difference between CMYK and RGB. CMYK is when you're printing, and RGB is when you're digital. So
that's why I have
when you're drawing digital, you want to be at 72 DPI in RGB. And when you're doing something for print, so you're making a poster, you want to be CMYK at 300 DPI. It's like the rule of thumb. People in chat might be like, I already knew that.
I didn't know that.
And just in case people don't know that, because I will never forget taking this like computer science class as like one of the last classes I needed for college to graduate. It's like one of those like required classes,
one of the prereqs.
Prereqs, exactly. I was like, okay, I'll take this. And I walk in the first day and he explains that to me. Actually, no, take that back. He explains how to open Google first. And I was like, oh, brother.
Oh, boy.
And then he explained the difference between RGB and CMYK. And I'm like, well, as a graphic design student and someone who already loves like tech and this stuff, like, this class is useless. And now that it's been many years since, I'll admit it, I skipped that class and would just show up for the test and get 100. It was like so easy when you know computers already,
right?
But then like, because my school was interesting, I went to Georgia State, if you happen to know what that college is, and we were one of the bigger commuter colleges. So like we had like over 70,000 people, but most of them commuted. So anyways, a lot of people were older, and I guess all I'm trying to say is a lot of older people were in that class and we're taking like a bunch of notes. And I'm like, I'm glad they're learning this stuff.
Yeah,
because it's really important to know, to not get behind, you know?
Most definitely. Well, Klon, do we want to call it here? We're a little past the hour, and I know that you and I will both just forget to turn this thing off. So
I know. I'm debating. I'm more than happy if you're ready to jump. I'm like, part of me wants to just complete it.
I was gonna say I'm gonna jump because I gotta go take care of some stuff here real quick. But this has been lovely, and thank you for everybody who has joined us for real. Feel free to share your illustrations on socials, just anywhere. Feel free to tag us with hashtag CC Luck of the Draw. That's what we've been using as kind of our final product gathering space. Otherwise, thank you for all the questions and the feedback. Klon, you said you might stick around for another few minutes, so feel free to stick around. I'm just going to hop off, but I wanted to just say how much I appreciated everybody being here, and that we will see you all next week, starting on Tuesday for our next Luck of the Draw stream.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thanks, y'all. Let's see if I can figure out how to get out of this thing here without closing the stream. That's the big one.
No, I feel yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, I just want to draw a little bit longer. Just to like, I hate leaving a drawing that's like 95% done, leaving that 5%. I mean, there's a lot more I could do to this drawing, but it's like this drawing was more for fun. It wasn't for anything. So, whereas the drawing that we did last time, the first one, like that one was fun to complete because that becomes like a sticker we can use because of how it's done. It's like the PNG knockout version of it. Let me do that again. Oh, I did not fill in Joe's like the line. I need to do that before I forget. Go. I knew something was off with Joe. I could not put my finger on it. All right, go back to the shadows, get the outline. All right. Okay, but first, so now we're gonna, I don't do this often. You struggle a lot with shadows. They never come out right. I'm going to be honest. I never feel like mine do either. I'm realizing the one I did on that. Yeah, I'm going to take that off. I just sort of like just do the edge and just kind of get the edge. I need to learn how to like do it a lot better, but I feel like it's almost like become a part of my style with how specifically I do it. Okay, so Joe's gonna have this like lightly sketch to like, she's not taking notes, she's just thinking about more. It's just, actually, that looks terrible. I was trying to go quick, but that looks so bad. There's a website you can use to create a palette from a color with shadow and shine. That's cool. I need to check that out, actually. Let me pull up another website I use. It used to be called something different. It's an Adobe program, and I don't think you need Creative Cloud for it. Let me turn this around again. Highly recommend using this, and let me get it up first. And you might already know about this, but it's a great one. Oh, it is making me log in. What? Why would you need to log into this? That's so lame. It's called Adobe Color. It used to be like Kuler, but Let me log in. All right, exit out of that. Where is it? All right, create. All right, it's this website. And so it's dope because you can like, let's take Blue Cat's color. You take Blue Cat's color, and whichever one has the arrow is the base color. Oh, I do this so often. I try to put in the hex value to that first one, but you end up copying what's already there. So click on the change color. Don't do what I just did. Open up all those, and then you paste in the Blue Cat blue, and then you get to choose, like, do you want it to be monochromatic? And it'll go ahead and choose all that for you. A triad, complementary, which I used this one for something recently. Square, I don't really understand what square is. But you're also able to change it to lab colors, which sometimes is good for printing, going between printing and digital. Sort of, it's not quite like a Pantone color, but Pantone colors are the ultimate color swatch. So this website's awesome. Apparently you have to sign in, which makes it not awesome unless you have Adobe. So, but it's cool. I've used it a lot for sure. Okay, we're gonna continue the shadow train. Oh. Yeah, that works. I guess my tip when, and again, I'm not the best at shadows. What's up, Garrel? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. But my biggest tip with shadows, I guess, is like really trying to think about it three-dimensionally. So it's like, okay, if his arms are in front of him, his arms probably wouldn't get most of the shadows. So like, what's behind his arms? And so like, that's why I like the little bit of the tie getting the shadow there, because like his arms are right in front of it. Sometimes I just use shadows as a way of making something lift off the page. So like making this one arm lift off of the page more, I'm just gonna like make it darker back there, and now it makes it pop a little bit more, especially if we were this is a little bit more high contrast, you know, which sometimes I will do. I'll go to like a 30 instead of, I was at 20% opacity, but it's like it really makes that arm feel like it's popping off more. As Ardi begs the judge to reconsider. And sometimes I'll get like a little bit of there, and then I guess the tie on top of the belt would have a little shadow. Maybe some of the belt loops cast a shadow, and like the bottom of the belt on the pants casts a shadow. Sometimes it's fun to just experiment. And that's why I use the mask that I was talking about, so I can't color outside of the lines. So I can just kind of experiment faster. Yeah, it's fun to play around with. Like the beauty is where you're at now with your drawing. It's like all the coloring is done. So any shadows that you add to it will probably just like heighten how the colors look. Man, today is one of those days for me that like I woke up and it felt like a Friday. Oh, I wish it was Friday. I know, right? Yeah, there's a chance. I don't even know if anyone's going to be interested in this, but I just sort of want to do it for myself. I might do like a video game stream over the weekend. Just cuz there's like a Pokemon challenge I've always wanted to do, and it just doesn't feel official unless you're also streaming it. Cuz like I could beat it, cool. I could tell people I beat it, but it's nice to have like the video evidence that I did it. So it'll just be silly. I will definitely be like chatting if you're in chat. I won't be like super locked in or anything, but it's fun. It's a wacky challenge. I enjoy watching other people play it. And I have had it all set up and everything. I just want to do it. So it's fun. And then like my whole thing is if that Pokemon does well, because you like go on, it's like a roguelike, so you just like go on a run. I'm gonna die a lot basically, but whatever Pokemon makes it far, I'm gonna draw it. That way I can like tie it into like the drawing streams. So we'll see if I make it past Misty. I think that's because it's Gen 1. It's Fire Red, Leaf Green as the ROM. Okay, I think I'm not gonna go too much. I'm not gonna go too crazy on this, but I think maybe since Ardi is on the ground, this really helps. By the way, I don't always do this, but like, wait, below everything, I like to put a shadow on the ground. Oh, dang. Ah, dang. Clicked Command Z on my pen. All right, drop the opacity. Oh, and the analog pocket? Yeah. Yeah, I was almost got to the final gym again, but oh, no challenge or anything. Yeah, like so I love Pokemon games. I really do. My struggle is they are way too easy. So like I just can't play the base game anymore, which is why I have to do these challenges. And the reason I like Fire Red, Leaf Green is because it's more colorful and it has the first 3 generations, which are arguably the best ones. But I've done Nuzlocke. Nuzlocke's fun, but it requires a lot of like fighting and grinding XP and levels and stuff. And the one that I'm doing is fun because you're only allowed to fight trainers. But all of the trainers are 50% stronger. So they give you more XP as well. And so it's like you have to beat the whole game with one Pokemon, everything randomized. You have to beat the Elite Four. And everyone is 50% stronger. So like by the time you get to the Elite Four, everything is level like 80 and 90. But so are you. And so it's just like you just have this one Pokemon who has like just the perfect stats, the perfect moves. Because like you could get a Charizard that has Flamethrower, but also like Earthquake and like Water Spout and like Shadow Ball. It's like moves that Charizard wouldn't normally have, but because it's a randomizer, it's like, so you're trying to get like perfect coverage that whatever you fight, you can like do super effective damage to. Spend hours in the calculator to make the perfect run. I know. So the fun thing about this one is like you honestly can't know because what you're fighting also has randomized stats and moves. The typings stay the same, but like you could have like a Snorlax who would normally have a lot of HP with like no HP and just like a lot of attack. So can you swap out Pokemon like your main, or do you have to pick one and go for it? So how it works is that you start in Professor's Oak Professor Oak's lab, and you have the 3 balls there. Before you look at any of them, you have to verbally say, but there's also one on like the little tracker, which one you're going to pick. So you have no idea what you're about to get. And you'd say, I'm going to go for the ball on the left. And you choose that one. Turns out you got a Pidgey. Or you could get like a Gyarados. And it's really cool. And then so the first battle, you're level 5 and your rival is level 8. So it's already a really, really difficult fight. And most of the time you die right there. But if you make it out, the run doesn't really start until you fight the like first bug catcher in Viridian Forest. And so each route before you get there, so you have like Route 1 right outside of Pallet Town. You have like the route that takes you to the like Victory Road, that route that goes that way. The patch of grass that go. Oh yeah, I'm talking about Ironmon. That's exactly it. I'm talking about Kaizo Ironmon. And then you have the route that's like right before Viridian Forest, and then you have Viridian Forest. So you have 4 chances to find a new Pokemon, but the second you catch it, you have to switch. Like you cannot go back. You have to take the new Pokemon, and now you have to go with that. And if it sucks, you can go to one of the other routes, hope for the best. But ultimately, once you've run out of your pivots, you have to go with it, and you have to fight the first bug catcher. And then Brock is like probably one of the most difficult fights in the game, because you're so low level, and he has like 6 Pokemon. So it's fun. It's just a roguelike, basically, but Pokemon. And all the items are randomized too. So like you might pick up a max potion in the forest, and that like can save your run. So anyways, a lot of Pokemon nerding, and I really need to like condense that into a stream, and I think that's why I'm gonna stream Ironmon, because it's fun. It's like a slot machine for Pokemon. That's also challenging because you have like moments where you really have to like think through the fight, and that just doesn't happen in normal Pokemon. You just get you get your starter Pokemon, you juice him up, he's unkillable. Like you just steam through everything. And so yeah, I've had to start getting into the challenges. But yeah, do you see the Pokemon mod way too many types? Yes, I have wanted to do way too many types, where you can be like cute and silly as typings. And then there's like the gamer one, and water is super effective to gamer. I think it's so funny. I just love the little Pokemon challenges. I think it's great that people figured this out. But cool. I think I'm gonna probably wrap up stream here. This was great. I really want to figure out how to get all chat on my normal stream. For some reason, the formatting is all weird. That's like the only reason I haven't added it yet. But it's way better when I can see comments from X and YouTube on here. Because really, like, it feels like my Twitch channel just doesn't have much. But there's a lot of viewers on X. What's up? I love watching it. Yeah, I've heard Ironmon called a slot machine. Yep, it genuinely is. But it's like, it's so fun. It's definitely a lot of like slot machine, randomness, but there's some thinking in between it, and that's why I really like it. And then there's Super Kaizo Ironmon, which is the same concept, but when you get to the Safari Zone, you're forced to pick a new Pokemon in the Safari Zone. So you're basically like starting over halfway through. No one's beaten that yet, and they've been trying to do it for over a year. And I've just been watching. It's like my podcast when I'm drawing. I just love watching it. So I probably will do that over the weekend. It'll be a fun time. I haven't really talked to the other guys if this is something that should be streamed on the Cool Cats account or not. So maybe it will just be Twitch, but we'll figure that out. Either way, I'll let you know. Yeah, it's wild. It's dumb. It's like one of those things that it's just like forced pain. It's like, I can't believe people are doing this, but it's fun and people like watching it. So cool. All right, I'm going to officially end here. Thank you for being in chat. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next Luck of the Draw or a gaming stream over the weekend. So, catch you later. How do I end this? I'm on a new